It was a wonderful promise of endless growth, of opportunities to harness the earth, and what seemed like its limitless depths, of the black gold that would run the world, from one end to the other, and even beyond. This is a world racing to be richer and richer. But for this world, even the whole earth is not enough. The earth has its limits. And if not respected, it revolts in fearsome ways, through the clouds and the seas. But there is another world, both old and new, that has a habit of finding ways to soothe the tired earth. A way of life that hums with the earth. You can't miss it. This hum that is healing the injured earth. These are among the richest forests on the planet. But this abundance is hard-earned. A few decades ago, these forests in northeast India were overexploited, their wood sold and wildlife hunted down. Until things reached a breaking point and pushed the local people to turn the tide. They voluntarily declared large tracts of community and private areas as protected forests.
This is Sendanya Villages Conservation Area. We have totally banned hunting, fishing, all agricultural activities, and even collection of vegetables and other forest produces are totally banned. And anybody caught roaming around in this reserve without our knowledge are penalized.
The collective decisions of the community are sacrosanct. Thanks to this wisdom, today Nagaland has nearly 500 community conserved areas that are flourishing without any formal support of the government.
This Sukai CCA area is very rich in biodiversity. In this small CCA area, around 450 hectares, we have collected more than 120 species. We have collected like medicinal plants, animal fodders, some trees bear fruit, as well as some for vegetable purpose.
इसका नाम है मिचिस, इसका नाम है अपिकुस, इस पेड़ का नाम है लाखाचपेस.
This biodiversity has returned over 15 long years. However, it can be lost within moments. While forests around the world are being brutally knocked down, in some parts of India they have flourished because of its people. ordinary people who can show extraordinary courage. Back in the 1970s, a few women from the northern state of Uttarakhand stunned the world with their daring act to save their forest. When the fellers came to cut them down, they hugged the trees and triggered one of the most famous environmental movements of the world, the Chipko movement.
हमने कहा हम इस पेड़ पर चिपक जाएंगे, हमारे पेड़ पर कुरेड़ लगा पर हमारे पेड़ मत काटो। तो उन्होंने सोचे कि हाँ यहाँ तो खतरा है, अब तब बंद करने तो बिल्कुल ठेका हो गया था जंगल का। हमने कहा हमारी जान भी चली जाए पर हम अपने जंगल काटने नहीं देंगे। उन्होंने कहा जंगल हमारा है, पर मैंने कहा हवा पानी मिट्टी किसी के घर की नहीं है।
But for a large majority of poor forest-dwelling communities in India, protecting the forest is a difficult choice, especially when it is their only means of sustenance. However, this reality is being turned on its head. Loggers are being transformed into protectors. Across India, several state governments are entrusting local communities with ownership of their forest and giving them rights to guard, conserve, and manage them sustainably. Empowered with modern techniques, several communities are shifting to new means of livelihood, leaving the forest to regenerate and flourish. This is India. A fascinating kaleidoscope of challenges, but also hopes. Problems, but also solutions. Here, people worship every element of nature. This reverence has played a significant role in sustaining a country of 1.2 billion people. 1/3 of India is urban and often restless, eager to catch up with the rest of the world. The other 2/3 is calmer and wiser. This India still lives on scarce resources, but it has deep content within. Here, less is more. Unlike some other parts of the world where more is never enough. Massive monoculture farming, laden generously with pesticides and fertilizers, was hailed as a technological triumph. Today, it has ruined the soil, water, and biodiversity in most parts of the world.
कुर्सी बैठा सिपाही जी मैं जांदू लड़ाई प्यारा सिपाही जी.
In Jardhar Gaon, a small village in the Indian Himalayas, a group of farmers have been on a mission to preserve their native seeds. Their movement started way back in the 1980s, after their produce declined sharply from chemical-fed hybrid seeds.
आधुनिक बीज पहली बार खूब पैदावार देता है, किसान खुश हो जाता है, बम्पर क्रॉप हो गई। लेकिन अगले साल उसको लगाएंगे तो कम होते जाएगा, कम होते जाएगा। और जो पारंपरिक बीज है एक बराबर चलेगा, वो पैदावार कम नहीं होने देगा। इस साल सूखा पड़ गया, लेकिन जो मिलेट वाली फसलें हैं ये सूखे को फिर भी झेल जाते हैं। अगर ज़्यादा बारिश हो गई तो उसे भी झेल जाते हैं। लेकिन जो आधुनिक बीज हैं वो उनमें किसी भी तरह की क्षमता नहीं होती है सूखा झेलने की या ज़्यादा बारिश झेलने की।
The nature of traditional farming is self-sustaining because every nutrient for the crop is sourced locally.
हम खाद नहीं गेरदा, हम गोबर गेरदा बस। और जंगल से ल्याउनु वो पातीण ल्याउने हम ना, वो बोरियों पर वो सड़ौने गड्ढा पर घेने हम उनको ना, तब वो गोबर हो जाने, तब वो ले जाना हम खेतों।
The farmers of Jardhargaon maintain a rich seed bank with hundreds of native and robust varieties of rice, beans, and a whole lot of other crops. Community seed banks across India are bravely countering the forces behind chemical farming. They believe in the common values of sharing and conserving the rich genetic diversity they inherited. Hundreds and thousands of small farmers in India have today regained their sovereignty over seeds. Their communities are healthier and they are better prepared to deal with the challenge of climate change. This old wisdom is now getting respect from urban India. The demand for organic food in cities is rising every day, and its future looks ever more promising. It is the most awaited news in India, the arrival of the monsoon. The rain brings so much along. 2/3 of India's people depend on the rain for a living. They are a part of its predominantly agricultural economy. But some other parts of India are not as blessed.
नमस्कार, आकाशवाणी जयपुर अजमेर से सांध्यकालीन प्रादेशिक समाचारों में आपका स्वागत है। प्रदेश में मानसून की बेरुखी के कारण सूखे की आशंका मंडराने लगी है। वर्षा की कमी के कारण संभाग के बाड़मेर जिले में तो स्थिति और भी खराब है।
It is a distressing situation, but droughts are a part of life in the Thar Desert. Spread over the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent, this is one of the hottest regions in the world. It rains the least here. There are no perennial rivers, and groundwater is saline. The piped water supply often fails to reach remote villages. In one such drought in 2009, the local administration of a town called Barmer decided to challenge the situation. They involved है।